Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's Saturday, the 10th of May 2025. The time is 10:22 a.m. And to my Jewish friends, family and community, Shabbat Shalom. Today is also my younger daughter Jasmine Ariel Aarons' 38th birthday. My baby. 38 years have passed. I haven't seen her since the last time I saw her was very briefly at my elder daughter's goodbye dinner, bon voyage dinner, before she flew to Ireland. So 2015. May 2015. So what's that? 10 years, but we didn't see each other much before then. And anyway, it is what it is, people of Earth. The family dysfunction, the fragmentation and the fracturing, the awfulness. But anyway, wherever my baby is, 38-year-old woman now, it was the age my mother was when she had me. Ironic. Anyway, wherever she is, wherever you are, Jasmine, hope you have a happy birthday and life treats you kindly. And there's sweetness and joy and peace and comfort and ease in your life, and choose to be kind. So, yes. Another day in the space-time continuum, am I right? So I thought I would continue reading from Yeats' selected poetry, and today's offerings are from his The Winding Stair and Other Poems selection. In memory of Eva Gore Booth and Con Markowitz, which is also kind of synchronous because my grandmother's name was Eva also. And everyone in the family except for me and my progeny, because I chose not to continue carrying her name on, have Eva as their middle name. Well, my grandmother was a violent woman and very cruel to Gisela. So I decided to break the chain then and there and not to perpetuate that energy, but she's in our blood, she's in our DNA, she's part of who we are for however long we stay alive. So, Jasmine was named Ariel. I named her after the Lion of God, so she's a lioness of God, and wow. She's not particularly spiritual or religious, so again, an irony. But I wanted to give her strong names, which is why I named her Jasmine, because of its powerful, strong scent. It permeates the house. If you bring it into the house, it permeates everything. It's such a powerful bloom, and yes, she is indeed a strong woman and a strong spirit. Too strong. Too strong. Sometimes we can be too strong. Sometimes we need softening with the getting of wisdom and age and a bit of mercy towards our aging parents, am I right? Well, both my daughters failed at that. And what did I fail at? Gaining love. But we won't cry about it, people of Earth. It is what it is. It's a beautiful day, but it's clouding over, so my moods will probably fluctuate with the sunshine dissipating and clouds coming over. It is what it is. Anyway, let me continue. In memory of Eva Gore Booth and Con Markowitz. Just move my tea. My curtain keeps wanting to fly into my tea mug. The light of evening listed down, great windows open to the south. Two girls in silk kimonos, both beautiful. One, a gazelle. Jesus, my mother's name, Gisela, is German. It means gazelle. Triggering, lots of triggering. But, you know, I can just choose to ignore it, tune it out, people are there. Beautiful, both beautiful. One, a gazelle. But a raving autumn shears blossom from the summer's wreath. The older is condemned to death, pardoned, drags out lonely years, conspiring among the ignorant. I know not what the younger dreams, some vague utopia, and she seems, when withered, old and skeleton gaunt, an image of such politics. Many a time I think to seek one or the other out and speak of that old Georgian mansion, mix pictures of the mind, recall that table and the talk of youth. Two girls in silk kimonos, both beautiful, one a gazelle. Dear shadows, now you know it all the folly of a fight with a common wrong or right. The innocent and the beautiful have no enemy but time indeed. Arise and bid me strike a match and strike another till time catch. Should the conflagration climb, run till all the sages know we the great gazebo built, they convicted us of guilt. Bid me strike a match and blow. October 1927. The year of my mother's birth too. She was born in February. So how old would she have been in October? 8 months old. Life is weird, isn't it? Can you stop triggering, my angels? I've had quite a lot of triggering this year. It's been very fraught and very difficult. Just back the fuck off. I mean, you have to kind of laugh. It shows me, though, that probably I'm going to die soon. It's just constantly triggering and rehashing and reminders of all the horror, shit fuckery and ghastliness. Just so, you know, I can go out with a bit of a bang maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, I took myself off the Viagra yesterday. I haven't had it today either. Upset my gut, and my gut is sensitive enough as it is. So another drug that didn't resonate with me, which means I'm probably very likely going to die of this condition. People are there. I've decided I'm not going to submit to the Botox. I'm just going to die gracefully. Gracefully or ungracefully, as the case may be. Can you die gracefully? Not really. The actual death process is not pretty, people of Earth. But it's more the dying process. It's not pretty, but it's part of life, and I have decided, instead of fighting it and struggling and living in perpetual distress, I'm just going to ride it out and accept it and welcome it. And that last man's cruelty was just another reminder that I wasn't meant to be in this world amongst humans. They, like medications, very rarely resonate me, or worse, fake resonance and then rip it out from under me. It's evil and putrid, but it's the same hell loop that I've experienced since a very young woman when I met my husband and thought he would be okay enough to cast my destiny with. And look how that ended up. 2 estranged daughters and no grandchildren, and a COVIDian insanity that's sent everyone sadistic and perverted and cold, colder than the grave. Anyway, the next poem is Death. Nor dread nor hope attend a dying animal. A man awaits his end, dreading and hoping all. Many times he died. Oh, it sure as shit did. It's got a little bit silly towards the end. Many times rose again. Fought a long, long, hard battle just to be here in this moment, reading to you, people of Earth. A great man in his pride, confronting murderous men, casts derision upon supersession of breath. He knows death to the bone. Man has created death. So yes, it is a creation and an illusion. I mean, we all die physically, but there's life after death, people of Earth. I'm looking forward to my freedom in my next paradigm. Someone pointed the bone at me and maybe she saw it coming before I did. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. It's been quite enough awfulness and suffering and ill health and human feckless viciousness and treachery. It's been quite enough. So, but here I am reading you poetry because I fight like a warrior goddess against even Lady Death, who blows kisses to me from beyond the veil and sometimes comes to dance with me in the night. And we recognise each other well. We bow and curtsy to each other. And the pirouette is marvellous. I remember one night I danced, it was about a year ago actually, at the Koala Tavern, not realising that the man I loved was hating on me and taking the piss out of me the whole time. Well, it's good that I didn't realise because it was beautiful. It was beautiful thinking that love was possible and that I was loved. It was a beautiful delusion and kept me alive for a bit longer, am I right? Got me through till recent times, till all got torn from me yet again. But it is what it is. But I danced myself so hard that night. I was a bit triggered. There's a video on YouTube about it. I arrived and there were 3 Aboriginal women, an old mother and her 2 daughters. One was in her late early 30s and one was in her, late 30s and one was in her early 30s, having a good old fight out the back of the Koala Tavern. And somehow I got involved in it, or involved myself in it, or joined in the discussion. The older daughter was saying to the mother how much she hated her, and how she'd been a terrible, terrible mother. And I looked at the mother with circumspection because I too had a terrible, terrible mother, and my mother also had a terrible, terrible mother, and on it goes, the intergenerational trauma. So I turned to this young woman and I said, "You don't understand." I said, "I too had a terrible mother." We just looked at each other and she threw herself into my arms and kissed me. Anyway, so I march into the Koala Tavern emotionally lit up and like a fucking Catherine Wheel, kind of a bit triggered, but feeling emotionally supercharged and empowered and kind of loved by those three Indigenous women. Even the mother looked at me with deep recognition. It was a very strange spiritual encounter. Sometimes I wonder if those were even real women, if they were just perhaps fae or angels. Sometimes you have these strange encounters and you look back on it and went, what the fuck was that? But no, I'm sure they were real women. Anyway, I marched in and literally marched in. I was wearing my purple corset and this lovely skirt, and I went straight up to Scott and pointed at the corner of the stage to ask permission if I could put my top hat and my bag down there. And he nodded and he bent down, said something to me, said hello. I said to him, when I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm there. He looked at me and nodded and said, "You're fiery, Tanya. Fiery." I'm incandescent. I'm a soul on fire and wow. Anyway, I kept my promise to dance for them for as long as I could until he did that last cruelty at the Koala Tavern. Closed circuit, am I right? Closed circuit. Contract now officially cut and torn apart and shredded. But I kept my word. I kept my word to Paulie that I would support the band wherever venue they went to. And I did, Paulie. I kept my word to you. But and at the end, I don't deserve any unpleasantness. Just put it that way delicately. And it's not your fault, by the way. You're just running your band and living your best life. Emotions between two adult children are going to get frayed and unravelled. And the only way to win a game is not to play. I learnt that after the first strangulation, by the way. So let the unravelling begin. Ultimately, it doesn't matter now, does it? Now that I'm on the cycling with death loop again. And I'm not afraid of death. I'm not looking forward to the actual dying part, especially since yet another drug failed to help me, so even makes me afraid that I won't get proper pain relief when my time comes. So I have options. Mama T always has options. Don't you worry about that. How to go out without too much ignoble suffering. But in the meantime, she's got a way of pulling herself together at the 11th hour and revivifying herself, and survived 16 near deaths. So a man might come into my life one day who's actually genuinely in love with me and genuinely kind, and there'll be no tricks to games and no bullshit, and it might extend my life by another 5 to 10 years. Who can tell? I have to extend it myself, don't I? Like I've done all along. picking up treacherous vermin that try to destroy me. Wow. Santa Muerte, my queen of the night. We choose our weapons well, those of us who've barely survived our childhoods. We choose our self-immolation well. Many did not survive, lost their lives to drug abuse or prostitution, or at the hands of men with their hands on their throats, am I right? I don't even know how I survived those bastards, so what can one expect? What can one expect? Delusions of true love and happiness, gifted to me veritably by the gods. That's what we could have expected, but not. Oh, you have to laugh. It's all very poetic and noetic and a little bit symbiotic. A dialogue of self and soul, verse 1. My soul, I summon to the winding ancient stair. Set all your mind upon the steep ascent, upon the broken, crumbling battlement, upon the breathless starlit air, upon the star that marks the hidden pole. Fix every wandering thought upon that quarter where all thought is done. Who can distinguish darkness, pardon me, from the soul? Myself, the consecrated blade upon my knees is Sato's ancient blade, still as it was, still razor keen, still like a looking glass, unspotted by the centuries. Oh yes, the point of that story before was all saying, I danced that night so hard and so wildly and so joyously with such passion and deep love, not just for my friend Scott. We were just friends, people of Earth, let's clarify that point. But for, Luke and Paulie, and for my own self. And veritably I left my body and kind of flew, was flying all around that room. There weren't a lot of people there that night, probably about 10 or 12, in the audience. And I flew and I left my body and then literally called myself back in and reintegrated. And I looked up at Scott and he was emanating such light too and such joy, and it was a beautiful moment I'll never forget. Let's just put it that way. There's no harm or no foul, it was nothing sordid, it was just a spiritual kind of flight of a shaman. So anyway, still razor clean, still razor keen, still like a looking glass, unspotted by the centuries, that flowering silken old embroidery, torn from some court lady's dress, and round the wooden scabbard bound and wound, can, tattered, still protect, faded, adorn. My soul, why should the imagination of a man long past his prime remember things that are emblematical of love and war? Think of ancestral night that can, if but imagination, scorn the earth, and intellect its wandering to this and that and t'other thing, deliver from the crime of death and birth. Myself, Montashigi, third of his family, fashioned, it's blurred, fashioned is 500 years ago. About it lie flowers from I know not what embroidery. Hearts purple, hearts purple, babies. You have to laugh. Not bad for a dying woman. When I'm not dying, I'm living so fully and vibrantly and joyously that it scares people. And all these I set for emblems of the day against the tower, emblematical of the night, and claim as by a soldier's right a charter to commit the crime once more. My soul, such fullness in that quarter overflows. My head is regulated. Too much electricity in the body, too much fire. Such fullness in that quarter overflows and falls into the basin of the mind. That man is stricken deaf and dumb and blind, for intellect no longer knows, is from the ought, or knower from the known. Here comes the rain. Just close my bedroom window. Sorry, where was I? For intellect no longer knows, is from the ought, or knower from the knows, that is to say, ascends to heaven. Only the dead can be forgiven. It depends on who died. Davidson. But when I think of that, my tongue's a stone. Indeed. Be careful who you forgive. Some people are veritable monsters that never change. 2. Myself. A living man is blind and drinks his drop. What matter if the ditches are impure? What matter if I live it all once more? Endure that toil of growing up, the ignominy of boyhood, the distress of boyhood changing into man. the unfinished man and his pain, brought face to face with his own clumsiness, the finished man among his enemies. How in the name of heaven can he escape that defiling and disfigured shape, the mirror of malicious eyes, casts upon his eyes until at last he thinks that shape must be his shape? And what's the good of an escape if honour find him in the wintry blast? Indeed, I am content to live it all again, and yet again, if it be life to pitch into the frog spawn of a blind man's ditch. A blind man battering blind men, or into that most fecund ditch of all, the folly that man does or must suffer if he woos a proud woman not kindred of his soul. I am content to follow to its source every event in action or in thought, measure the lot, forgive myself the lot. When such as I cast out remorse, so great a sweetness flows into the breast. We must laugh and we must sing. We are blessed by everything. Everything we look upon is blessed. Blood and the moon. 1. Blessed be this place, more blessed still this tower, a bloody arrogant power rose out of the race, uttering, mastering it, rose like these walls from these storm-beaten cottages. In mockery I have set a powerful emblem up, and sing it rhyme upon rhyme, in mockery of a time half dead at the top. 2. Alexandria's was a beacon tower, and Babylon's an image of the moving heavens, a logbook of the sun's journey and the moon's. And Shelley had his towers, thought's crowned powers, he called them once. I declare this tower is my symbol. I declare this winding, gyring, spiring treadmill of a stair is my ancestral stair. That Goldsmith and the Dean, Berkeley and Burke, have travelled there. Swift beating on his breast, in sibylline frenzy blind, because the heart in his blood-sodden breast had dragged him down into mankind. Goldsmith deliberately sipping at the honey-pot of his mind, and haughtier-headed Burke, that proved the state a tree, that this unconquerable labyrinth of the birds, century after century, cast but dead leaves to mathematical equality. And God appointed Berkeley, that proved all things a dream, that this pragmatical, preposterous pig of a world its furrow, that so solid seam, must vanish on the instant, if the mind but change its theme. Sava indignatio, and the labourer's hire, the strength that gives our blood and state magnanimity of its own desire. Everything that is not God, consumed with intellectual fire. 3. The purity of the unclouded moon has flung its arrowy shaft upon the floor. 7 centuries have passed, and it is pure. The blood of innocence has left no stain. There, on blood-saturated ground, have stood soldier, assassin, executioner, whether for daily pittance, or in blind fear, or out of abstract hatred and shed blood, but could not cast a single jet thereon. Odour of blood on the ancestral stair. And we have shed none, but gather there, and clamour in drunken frenzy for the moon. 4. And now the sun comes out again. It's going to be one of those days. Yin and yang, people of Earth, chasing its tail. 4. Upon the dusty, glittering windows cling, and seem to cling upon the moonlit skies, tortoise-shell butterflies, peacock butterflies, a couple of night moths are on the wing. Is every modern nation like the tower, half dead at the top? No matter what I said, for wisdom is the property of the dead, a something incompatible with life, and power, like everything that has the stain of blood, a property of the living, but no stain can come upon the visage of the moon when it has looked in glory from a cloud. The 7 sages. The first, my great-grandfather spoke to Edmund Burke in Grattan's house. The second, my great-grandfather shared a pothouse bench with Oliver Goldsmith once. The third, my great-grandfather's father talked of music, drank tar water with the Bishop of Cloyne. The fourth, but mine saw Stella once. The fifth, whence came our thought? The sixth, from 4 great minds that hated Whiggery. The fifth, Burke was a Whig. The sixth, whether they knew or not, Goldsmith and Burke, Swift and the Bishop of Cloyne, all hated Whiggery. But what is Whiggery? A levelling, rancorous, rational sort of mind that never looked out of the eye of a saint or out of drunkard's eye. The 7th, all Whiggery, all's Whiggery now. but we old men are massed against the world. The first. American colonies, Ireland, France and India harried, and Burke's great melody against it. The fourth, the tomb of Swift wears it away. The third, a voice soft as the rustle of a reed from Cloyne that gathers volume, now a thunderclap. The sixth, what schooling had these four? The seventh, they walked the roads, mimicking what they heard, as children mimic. They understood that wisdom comes of beggary, indeed. Cool Park, 1929. I meditate upon a swallow's flight, upon an aged woman and her house, a sycamore and lime tree lost in night, although that western cloud is luminous, great works constructed there in nature's spite, for scholars and for poets after us, thoughts long knitted into a single thought, a dance-like glory that those walls begot. There Hyde, before he had beaten into prose, that noble blade the Muses buckled on. There one that ruffled in a manly pose, for all his timid heart, there that slow man, that meditative man, John Synge, and those impetuous men, Shaw, Taylor and Hugh Lane, found pride established in humility, a scene well set and excellent company. They came like swallows, and like swallows went, and yet a woman's powerful character could keep a swallow to its first intent, and half a dozen in formation there that seemed to whirl upon a compass point found certainty upon the dreaming air, the intellectual sweetness of those lines that cut through time and cross it with the shins. Here, traveller, scholar, poet, take your stand, when all those rooms and passages are gone, when nettles wave upon a shapeless mound, and saplings root among the broken stone, and dedicate, eyes bent upon the ground, back turned upon the brightness of the sun, and all the sensuality of the shade. A moment's memory to that laurelled head. Cool Park and Ballylee. Someone just stepped up behind me. They're giving me chills. All right. I'm doing what you asked. You can relax. Cool. Oh, I'm getting really cold now. Well, the door is open. It's probably just a draft. Cool Park and Ballylee, 1931. Under my window ledge, the waters race, otters below and moorhens on the top. Run for a mile undimmed in heaven's face. No, that's a lie, spirit. You know that's a lie. I'm not buying into that delusion ever again. You got me too many times. You have to laugh, don't you? Then darkening through dark rafteries, salad drop, run underground, rise in a rocky place, in cool demesne, and there to finish up. Spread to a lake, and drop into a hole. What's water but the generated soul? Upon the border of that lake's a wood. It's standing behind me and it's cold, but the energy is like, it's coming to me like little waves, like little eddies, like little whirlpools on top of a pond when you drop a stone, and it's kind of intense. Anyway, I don't know who they are. You haven't given me your name. And I'm also reading to the people of Earth, freaking them out as we do together, one and all, like the three fucking musketeers, all for one and one for all, am I right? Triple goddess, maiden, matron and crone, as above, so below, as within, so without. Blessed be. Upon the border of that lake's a wood, now all dry sticks under a wintry sun, and in a copse of beeches there I stood, for nature's pulled her tragic buskin on, and all the rants a mirror of my mood. At sudden thunder of the mounting swan, I turned about and looked where branches break the glittering reaches of the flooded lake. Another emblem there, that stormy white, but seems a concentration of the sky, and like the soul it sails into the sight, and on the morning's gone, no man knows why, and is so lovely that it sets to right what knowledge or its lack had set or I communicate, people of Earth. So arrogantly pure a child might think. Stop laughing, it's not funny. It can be murdered with a spot of ink. Sound of a stick upon the floor, a sound for somebody that toils from chair to chair, beloved books that famous hands have bound, old marble heads, old pictures everywhere. Great rooms where travelled men and children found content or joy, a last inheritor, where none has reigned that lacked a name and fame, or out of folly into folly came. A spot whereon the founders lived and died seemed once more dear than life. Ancestral trees or gardens rich in memory glorified, marriages, alliances and families, and every bride's ambition satisfied. Not if you were married to my husband, you weren't. I mean, he satisfied me as in there was a roof over my head and there was food in my belly, but we won't mention the rest and the viciousness that went on for years. And what do? bring another savage into my realms. It's ghastly and horrific and tragic. Where fashion and mere fantasy decrees, we shift about all that great glory spent, like some poor Arab tribesman and his tent. We were the last romantics, chose for theme traditional sanctity and loveliness. Whatever's written is what poets name the book of the people. Whatever most can bless the mind of man or elevate a rhyme, but all is changed. That high horse, riderless, though mounted in that saddle Homer rode, where the swan drifts upon a darkening flood. Swift's epitaph. Swift had sailed into his rest. Savage indignation there cannot lacerate his breast. Imitate him if you dare, world-besotted traveller. He served human liberty. At Algeciras, a meditation upon death. The heron-billed pale cattle birds that feed on some foul parasite of the Moroccan flocks and herds cross the narrow straits to light in the rich midnight of the garden trees, till the dawn break upon those mingled seas. Often at evening when a boy would I carry to a friend, hoping more substantial joy did an older mind commend. Not such as are in Newton's metaphor, but actual shells of Ross's level shore. Greater glory in the sun. To you, my wonderful Ross, you know whom you are. Greater glory in the sun, an evening chill upon the air. Bid imagination run much on the great questioner. What he can question, what if questioned, I can, with a fitting confidence, reply. November 1928. The choice. The intellect of man is forced to choose perfection of the life or of the work, and if it take the second must refuse a heavenly mansion raging in the dark. When all that story's finished, what's the news? In luck or out the toil has left its mark. That old perplexity, an empty purse, or the day's vanity, the night's remorse. Byzantium. The unpurged images of day recede. The emperor's drunken soldiery are abed. Night resonance recedes. Night walker's song after great cathedral gong. A starlit or a moonlit dome disdains all that man is. All mere complexities, the fury and the mire of human veins. Before me floats an image man or shade. Shade more than man, more image than a shade. For Hades, bobbin bound and mummied cloth may unwind the winding path. A mouth that has no moisture and no breath, breathless mouths may summon. I hail the superhuman. I call it death in life and life in death. It's not the men in my life that count. It's the life in my men, Mae West. Miracle, bird or golden handiwork, more miracle than bird or handiwork, planted on the starlit golden bough, can, like the cocks of Hades, crow, or by the moon embittered, scorn aloud in glory of changeless metal, common bird or petal, and all complexities of mire or blood. At midnight on the emperor's pavement flit flames that no faggot feeds, nor steel has lit, nor storm disturbs, flames begotten of flame, where blood-begotten spirits come, and all complexities of fury leave, dying into a dance, an agony of trance, an agony of flame that cannot singe a sleeve. Astraddle on the dolphin's mire and blood, spirit after spirit. The smithies break the flood, the golden smithies of the emperor. Marbles of the dancing floor break bitter furies of complexity. Those images that yet fresh images beget. That dolphin torn, that gong tormented, see? 1930. My birdies arrive on Tuesday. Going to pick them up. There'll never be another Charlie. Never, 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 never. The Mother of God. The threefold terror of love, a fallen flare through the hollow of an ear. Wings beating around the room, the terror of all terrors that I bore, the heavens in my womb. Had I not found content among the shows every common woman knows, chimney corner, garden walk, or rocky cistern, where we tread the clothes and gather all the talk? What is this flesh I purchased with my pains, this fallen star my milk sustains? This love that makes my heart's blood stop, or strikes a sudden chill into my bones, and bids my hair stand up. Vacillation 1. Between extremities, man runs his course, a brand or flaming breath comes to destroy all those antinomies of day and night. The body calls it death, the heart remorse. But if these be right, what is joy? 2. A tree, there is that from its topmost bough is half all glittering flame, and half all green, abounding foliage moistened with the dew, and half, and yet is all the scene, and half consume what they renew, and he that at his image hangs between that staring fury and the blind lush leaf may not know what he knows, but knows not grief. 3. Get all the gold and silver that you can, satisfy ambition, animate the trivial days and ram them with the sun, and yet upon these maxims meditate. All women dote upon an idle man, although their children need a rich estate. Indeed, no man has ever lived that had enough of children's gratitude or woman's love. No longer in Lethean foliage caught, begin the preparation for your death. And from the 40th winter by that thought, test every work of intellect or faith, and everything that your own hands have wrought, and call those works extravagance of breath that are not suited for such men as come, proud, open-eyed, and laughing to the tomb. 4. My 50th year had come and gone. I sat a solitary man in a crowded London shop, an open book and empty cup on the marble table top, while on the shop and street I gazed, my body of a sudden blazed, and 20 minutes more or less it seemed so great my happiness that I was blessed and could bless. 5. You can tell when a verse or an entire poem resonates with me. I light up like a menorah. Lovely, is it not? Woman shucked off by cowardly, feckless knaves. So pot. You have to laugh. Oh, poor lad. We knew him well. Ulrich, speak to us of love. 5. I won't tell you what Ulrich just said because it's not appropriate, since the man was allegedly married and probably is allegedly married still. We won't tell you what Ulrich said. But it went along these lines. You should have fucked him. Oh, well, never mind. Blessed be, and on we go. In joyful revelry. Oh, you have to laugh. I love my mind. It's so twisted, but yet so glorious. Verse 5. Oh, you've got to laugh. Well, you know, this is what happens when a woman refuses to die at the hands of men. She becomes quirky and artistic. Who knew? My sister back when I was, I don't know, insulting. She thought she was insulting me back when I was about 25. Silly cow. Dead sisters, don't cry. Shucked off lovers, emotional lovers, don't die. You must be so disappointed, my darling. Oh, greatest violin. Although the summer sunlight gild cloudy leafage of the sky, or wintry moonlight sink the field in storm-scattered intricacy, I cannot look thereon. Responsibility so weighs me down. Things said or done long years ago, or things I did not do or say, but thought that I might say or do, weigh me down, and not a day but something is recalled, my conscience or my vanity appalled. 6. A rivery field spread out below, an odour of the new-mown hay in his nostrils. The great lord of Shu cried, casting off the mountain snow, let all things pass away. Pardon me. Wheels by milk-white asses drawn where Babylon or Nineveh rose. Some conqueror drew rein and cried to battle-weary men, let all things pass away. All things pass away in time, people of earth. Watch me fly. From man's blood-sodden heart are sprung those branches of the night and day where the gaudy moon is hung. What's the meaning of all song? Let all things pass away. Seven. The soul. Seek out reality, leave things that seem. The heart, what be a singer born and lack a theme? The soul, Isaiah's call, what more can man desire? The heart, struck dumb in the simplicity of fire. The soul, look on that fire, salvation walks within. The heart, what theme had Homer but original sin? 8. Must we part von Hügel, though much alike, for we accept the miracles of the saints and honour sanctity. The body of Saint Teresa lies undecayed in tomb, bathed in miraculous oil, Sweet odours from it came, healing from its lettered slab. Those self-same hands, perchance, eternalised the body of a modern saint that once had scooped out Pharaoh's mummy. I, though heart might find relief, did I become a Christian man and choose for my belief what seems most welcome in the tomb, play a predestined part. Homer is my example and his unchristened heart. The lion and the honeycomb, what has Scripture said? So get you gone, von Hugel, though with blessings on your head. 1932. Remorse for intemperate speech. I ranted to the knave and fool, but outgrew that school. Would transform the part, fit audience found, but cannot rule on my fanatic heart. There's a note down here at the bottom. I pronounce fanatic in what is, I suppose, the older and more Irish way, so that the last line of each stanza contains but 2 beats. I sought my betters, though in each fine manners, liberal speech, turn hatred into sport. Nothing said or done can reach my fanatic heart. Out of Ireland have we come, great hatred, little room, maimed us at the start. I carry from my mother's womb a fanatic heart. August 28th, 1931. Right, where are we? We're up to the next set of poems from another selection from another book. See how long it is. I'll consider continuing. Perhaps another video. Trying to decide if I should continue for another hour or 2 and complete this book. What else am I going to do with my time but whip and whelp myself with my words and the energy of ancient muses and vainglorious abusers, weak and inept men, cowards and curs and wow, doesn't bode well to fuck with the Tanya who only came in deep and true love and honour and kindness and sweetness. It is what it is, people of Earth. Even my own daughters are estranged from me. Cruelty and sadism. I was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline, but I don't have to swim in it anymore. I'm done. 60 years on this planet. I deserve better. Don't you think? From Words for Music, perhaps. 5. Crazy Jane on God. What dear goddess. Well, when you're a God botherer, you're a God botherer. Even the spirits come to entertain you. It is what it is, people of earth. But they want someone worthy of my heart and my spirit. That's what they want. So I have to trust in the process. Crazy Jane on God. That lover of a night came when he would, went in the dawning light, whether I would or no. Men come, men go. All things remain in God. Oh, look, honestly, Angel, you know, it's twisted, but I gotta love you. I gotta love you. You can't get more appropriate. Each poem is just like a slam dunk bitch slap from the beyond. And it cuts both ways, of course, but at least I can see the humour in it. Fortunately. Banners choke the sky. Men at arms tread, armoured horses neigh, where their great battle was, in the narrow pass. All things remain in God. Before their eyes a house that from childhood stood, uninhabited, ruinous, suddenly lit up from door to top. All things remain in God. I'm trying not to laugh. It's hilarious. I love you. I do. I love you, people of Earth. We're a weird bunch. We have a head and two arms and legs and flesh and body and sinew and lust and desire and dreaming and soul. And we're magical creatures. Don't ever forget that. I had Wild Jack for a lover, though like a road that men pass over, my body makes no moan, but sings on. All things remain in God. 6. I wonder why they started that from verse 5. 6, 7. It's odd. Anyway. Crazy Jane talks with the bishop. I met the bishop on the road, and much said he and I. Those breasts are flat and fallen now. Those veins must soon be dry. Live in a heavenly mansion, not in some foul sty. Fast and foul are near of kin, and fair needs foul, I cried. My friends are gone, but that's a truth, nor grave nor bed denied. Learned in bodily lowliness, and in the heart's pride, a woman can be proud and stiff when on love intent. But love has pitched his mansion in the place of excrement, for nothing can be soul or whole that has not been rent. By rent they mean torn apart. Torn asunder, you understand. 7. Crazy Jane, grown old, looks at the dancers. I missed out on dancing again last night. I really wasn't well. That medication, that la 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 ban, la la ban, Viagra in the waters, fucked my bowels. So that and the camembert I had. My daughter would be like, "You did not, Mom! You're lactose intolerant." But no, the irritation started from the time I started that drug, so it wasn't just the camembert, although that probably did not assist me all that well. Went down in a blaze of glory while trying to fix my toilet seat on with the new, bolts and screwy things to reset it on. And in the midst of that, I was violently ill. It was like, oh, the irony. This dying's going to take some time, people of Earth, and you get to watch it on YouTube and have schadenfreude. Take delight in my demise, a woman who came clean and clear, in sincerity, without lies. You want my death you'll have, and I shall be in paradise, motherfuckers. Anyway, no more poison for the Tanya. When I go, it will be done powerfully and beautifully, and quite a statement shall be made. Maybe. I don't know, actually. I'm bluffing, can you tell? Part of weaning off. Ta-la-la-la-la-la, ta-la-la-la-la-la. How does that song go? Ta-la-la-la-la-la, ta-la-la-la-la. Anyway, tra-la-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la. So many people tried to fuck me and failed. Sad but true. It's not that I'm not open to a good, jolly fucking, but save it for the one who truly loves me, blessed and protected by the gods. Crazy Jane, grown old, looks at the dancers. I found that ivory image there, dancing with her chosen youth. But when he wound her coal black hair as though to strangle her, no scream or bodily movement did I dare. Eyes under eyelids did so gleam. Love is like the lion's tooth. When she, and though some said she played, I said that she had danced heart's truth. Drew a knife to strike him dead, I could but leave him to his fate. For no matter what is said, they had all that had their hate. It's on you, babies. It's all on you, your hatred for the Tanya. Sad. Love is like the lion's tooth. Did he die, or did she die? Seemed to die, or died they both? I'm laughing because I need a man with intellect and couth. I really do. Anyway, next life, babies. Next life. It's all just such a macabre dance macabre. I've reached the point where it's become humorous, people. The tragic comedy of my life. It's how I know I'm dying. Go out laughing, people of Earth. Go out with a laugh and a smile on your face, knowing you could have done nothing better with the human race. Injecting themselves because some idiot told them to. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it's just so insane that I kind of have to laugh. Anyway, where were we? God be with the times when I cared not a thraneen for what chanced. For that I had the limbs to try, such a dance as there was danced. Love is like the lions too. All the spike protein biting you in the end. We've all been bitten, one way or the other, even the mama T who caught COVID, because I insisted on having my dance and being amongst my fellow humans and revellers. What a price I have paid. Well, what can you expect? Really, what can you expect? Verse 14. His bargain. Who talks of Plato's spindle, what set it whirling round? Eternity may dwindle, time is unwound. Dan and Jerry Lout changed their loves about. However they may take it, before the thread began I made and may not break it. When the last thread has run, I'll bargain with that hair and all the windings there. And I feel like forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. I'm the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. So 16. Lullaby. Beloved, may your sleep be sound, that have found it where you fed. What were all the world's alarms to mighty Paris when he found sleep upon a golden bed, that first dawn in Helen's arms? Sleep, beloved, such a sleep as did that wild Tristram know, when the potion's work being done, roe could run or doe could leap under oak and beechen bough. Roe could leap or doe could run. Just a moment. Such a sleep and sound as fell upon Eurota's grassy bank, when the holy bird that there accomplished his predestined will, from the limbs of Leda sank, but not from her protecting care. "17. After long silence. Speech after long silence, it is right, all other lovers being estranged or dead. Unfriendly lamplight hid under its shade, the curtains drawn upon unfriendly night, that we descant and yet again descant upon the supreme theme of art and song. Bodily decrepitude is wisdom. Young, we loved each other and were ignorant." Here comes the rain soon again. 18. Mad as the mist and snow. Bolt and bar the shutter, for the foul winds blow. Our minds are at their best this night, and I seem to know that everything outside us is mad as the mist and snow. Indeed, madder even, mad as mad can be. And here's the Tanya, carefully nourishing and nurturing her sanity. Horace there by Homer stands, Plato stands below, and here is Tully's open page. How many years ago were you and I unlettered lads, mad as the mist and snow? You ask what makes me sigh, old friend, what makes me shudder so? I shudder and I sigh to think that even Cicero and many-minded Homer were mad as the mist and snow. With great power comes great responsibility. Am I right, people of Earth? Allow each other freedom to be and their own body autonomy. Don't let knaves and fools wither ye away. Hold your line, people of Earth. I'm holding mine right now. Can you tell? Motherfuckers. Whom I love so well. "20. I am of Ireland. I am of Ireland and the holy land of Ireland, and time runs on," cried she. "Come out of charity, come dance with me in Ireland." One man alone in that outlandish gear, one solitary man of all that rambled there, had turned his stately head. "That is a long way off, and time runs on," he said, "and the night grows rough. I am of Ireland and the holy land of Ireland, and time runs on," cried she. "Come out of charity and dance with me in Ireland." The fiddlers are all thumbs, all the fiddle string accursed. The drums and the kettle drums and the trumpets all are burst. "And the trombone," cried he, "the trumpet and trombone," and cocked a malicious eye. But time runs on and on. Indeed it does. I am of Ireland and the holy land of Ireland, and time runs on, cried she. Come out of charity and dance with me in Ireland. 24. Old Tom again. Things out of perfection sail, and all their swelling canvas wear, nor shall the self-begotten fail, though fantastic men suppose, building yard and stormy shore, winding sheet and swaddling clothes. 25. The Delphic oracle upon Plotinus. Behold that great Plotinus swim, buffeted by such seas. Bland Rhadamanthus beckons him, but the golden race looks dim. Salt blood blocks his eyes. Scattered on the level grass, or winding through the grove, Plato there and Minos pass, there stately Pythagoras, and all the choir of love. August 19, 1931. Right, now these poems are from a woman. Oh, we're nearing completion before that. You may complete this book today. Aren't you glad? I've driven you quite mad, but I've had my say. I'm a communicator and a generator, a dancer, a woman who loves, who heals, who speaks, who plights her truth and troth, who holds herself pristine and eternal, infernal, spiritual growth. Like an old tree, you'll have to climb up and level up to be a man for me. Alas, it's never going to happen. And so I cast my eyes upon the seven seas. Eternity I crave, life and love beyond the grave. But every day I sit in this vessel, and try very, very hard not to submit. From a woman, young and old, father and child, she hears me strike the board and say that she is under ban of all good men and women being mentioned with a man that has the worst of all bad names, and thereupon replies that his hair is beautiful, cold as the March wind his eyes. Oh well, my darling used to look at me with such passion in his eyes. I mistook it for love, but it was really, really envy. Sabotage. Didn't want me, didn't want anyone else to have me either. Odd, isn't it? Don't quite understand that since he was married. Dickhead. Anyway, life goes on. 2. And perhaps he was right after all. None was worthy of my heart or my loins. Couldn't play the part, couldn't date me or treat me like a queen. Thought they could sully and destroy me, split me like a bean. Dumb motherfuckers. You can't break a kintsugi'd heart. 2. Before the world was made, if I make the lashes dark and the eyes more bright and the lips more scarlet, or ask if all be right from mirror. Oh, I'm allergic to my human altered species literally make me a bit sick, to be honest. Try not to vomit in my mouth daily. Some of them make me queasy. Not everyone. Not everyone. But some. Where was I when I sneezed? What did my father used to say? He was obsessed with my father, that man. Tell me about your father. Trying to push my buttons after a lovely evening. What did I say? We won't be discussing that entity. We've had such a lovely time. Why would you want to ruin my night? I should have known then. I should have known then, should I not? That was my first red flag. Probably others I hadn't quite clicked on, but that was my first red flag. What did my father used to say? It's a quote from Alice in Wonderland. Who the fuck is Alice, am I right? Oh, I've lived that book so well. Down the rabbit hole we go, spinning in eternity. Eat me, motherfuckers. But what did my father used to say? No, you won't eat me. You've devoured me quite long enough. Having cheap and free entertainment on YouTube with your pathetic Schadenfreude. Well aware, well aware. But what did my father used to say? Yes. Speak harshly to my little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. Can you see where the programming came in when I was but a little child for my love life? Teasing, fake trickster fops. Gifted by Daddy Dearest. 2. Let's start again from the top. Before the world was made, if I made the lashes dark and the eyes more bright, the lips more scarlet, or ask if all be right from mirror after mirror, no vanities displayed, I'm looking for the face I had before the world was made, or in 2025, irrevocably altered and can never be returned to how it should have been in the timelines, because you were all complicit. All of you. All of you. And now I must suffer along with you. No progeny and no real love. Don't you think I suffered long enough before this thing was displayed? Fuck it. Fuck it all. What if I look upon a man as though on my beloved, and my blood be cold the while, and my heart unmoved? Why should he think me cruel, or that he is betrayed? I'd have him love the thing that was before the world was made. That man had no love for me. Lied. I wonder why he did that. Can someone explain it to me? Why you would do that? What you would gain from that? Must have jerked off for hours over my destruction. You can't kill a queen of her own destiny. Well, you can. You can kill her. But Don't bother trying, we've done enough. 4. Her triumph. I did the dragon's will until you came, because I had fancied love a casual improvisation or a settled game that followed if I let the kerchief fall. Those deeds were best that gave the minute wings and heavenly music if they gave it wit. And then you stood among the dragon rings. I mocked being crazy, but you mastered it and broke the chain and set my ankles free. St. George, or else a pagan Perseus. And now we stare astonished at the sea, and a miraculous strange bird shrieks at us. 5. Consolation. Oh, but there is wisdom in what the sages said, but stretch that body for a while, and lay down that head, till I have sold the sages where man is comforted. How could passion run so deep, had I never thought that the crime of being born blackens all our lot? But where the crime's committed, the crime can be forgot. What do Concrete Blonde sing? You can never go back to the scene of a perfect crime. Indeed. Taint my love but once, motherfucker. 6. Chosen. The lot of love is chosen. I learnt that much struggling for an image on the track of the whirling zodiac. Scarce did he my body touch, scarce sank he from the west, or found a subterranean rest on the maternal midnight of my breast, before I had marked him on his northern way, and seemed to stand, although in bed I lay. I struggled with the horror of daybreak, I chose it for my lot. If questioned on my utmost pleasure with a man by some new married bride, I take that stillness for a theme, whereas my heart did seem, and both adrift on the miraculous stream, where wrote a learned astrologer, the zodiac is changed into a sphere. 7. Parting. He, dear, I must be gone while night shuts the eyes of the household spies. That song announces dawn. She, no, night's burden love's bids all true lovers rest, while his loud song reproves the murderous stealth of day. He, daylight already flies from mountain crest to crest. She, that light is from the moon. He, that bird. She, let him sing on. I offer to love's play my dark declivities. 8. Her vision in the wood. Yes, yes, I know. They're singing Iris to me again. Yes, yes, I know. It's all fine. It's all part of the journey of becoming my beloved ones. Stop it! It's hilarious, but not appropriate. Her vision in the wood, dry timber under that rich foliage at wine-dark midnight in the sacred wood. Too old for a man's love, I stood in rage, imagining men, imagining that I could a greater with a lesser pang assuage, or but to find if withered vein ran blood. I tore my body that its wine might cover whatever could recall the lip of lover. Cold beyond the grave, his lips were cold. The kiss of death. And after that, I held my fingers up, scared at the wine-dark nail, dark that ran down every withered finger from the top. But the dark changed to red, and torches shone, and deafening music shook the leaves. A troop shouldered a litter with a wounded man, or smote upon the string, and to the sound sang of the beast that gave a fatal wound. All stately women moving to a song, with loosened hair and foreheads grief distraught. It seemed a quattrocento painter's throng, a thoughtless image of Mantegna's thought. Why should they think that I'm forever young? Till suddenly in grief's contagion caught, I stared upon his blood-bedabbled breast, and sang my malediction with the rest. That thing, all blood and mire, that beast-torn wreck, half turned and fixed a glazing eye on mine, and, though love's bitter sweet had all come back, those bodies from a picture wore a coin, nor saw my body fall, nor heard it shriek, nor knew, drunken with singing as with wine, that they had brought no fabulous symbol there, that my heart's victim and its torturer. Nine. That's weird, it jumps from 9 to 11. A last confession. What lively lad most pleasured me of all that with me lay? A lady never tells. I answer that I gave my soul and loved in misery, but had great pleasure with a lad that I loved bodily. Flinging from his arms I laughed, to think his passion such. He fancied that I gave a soul, did but our bodies touch, and laughed upon his breast to think beast gave beast as much. It is a bit like that sometimes, the fuckery. I'm so glad I didn't go there, girlfriends. I gave what other women gave that stepped out of their clothes, but when the soul its body off, naked to naked goes, he it has found shall find therein what none other knows, and give his own and take his own and rule in his own right. And though it loved in misery, close and cling so tight, there's not a bird of day that dare extinguish that delight. (11) From the Antigone. Overcome, O sweet bitterness, inhabitant of the soft cheek of a girl, the rich man in his affairs, the fat flocks and the field's fatness, mariners, rough harvesters, overcome gods upon Parnassus, overcome the Empyrean, hurl heaven and earth out of their places, that in the same calamity, brother and brother, friend and friend, family and family, city and city may contend, by that great glory driven wild. Pray I will and sing I must, and yet I weep. Oedipus, child, descends into the loveless dust. From a full moon in March. Aha. Parnell's funeral, verse 1. Under the great comedian's tomb, the crowd, a bundle of tempestuous cloud, is blown about the sky. Where that is clear of cloud, brightness remains. A brighter star shoots down. What shudders run through all that animal blood? What is this sacrifice? Can someone there recall the Cretan barb that pierced a star? Rich foliage that the starlight gathered through, a frenzied crowd, and where the branches sprang, a beautiful seated boy, a sacred bow, a woman and an arrow on a string, a pierced boy, image of a star laid low. That woman, the great mother imaging, cut out his heart. Some master of design stamped boy and tree upon Sicilian coin. An age is the reversal of an age, when strangers murdered Emmett Fitzgerald Tone. We lived like men that watched a painted stage. What matter for the scene once gone? It had not touched our lives, but popular rage, hysterica passio, dragged this quarry down. None shared our guilt, nor did we play a part upon a painted stage when we devoured his heart. Come, fix upon me that accusing eye. I thirst for accusation. All that was sung, all that was said in Ireland is a lie, bred out of the contagion of the throng, saving the rhyme rats here before they die. Leave nothing but the nothings that belong to this bare soul. Let all men judge that can, whether it be an animal or 2. The rest I pass, one sentence I unsay. Had De Valera eaten Parnell's heart, no loose-lipped demagogue had won the day, no civil rancour torn the land apart. Had Cosgrave eaten Parnell's heart, the land's imagination had been satisfied, or, lacking that, government in such hands, O'Higgins, its sole statesman, had not died. Had even O'Duffy, but I name no more, their school a crowd, his master solitude, through Jonathan Swift's dark grove he passed, and there plucked bitter wisdom that enriched his blood. A prayer for old age. God guard me from those thoughts men think in the mind alone. He that sings a lasting song thinks in a marrow bone. From all that makes a wise old man that can be praised of all. Oh, what am I that I should not sing for the song's sake a fool? I pray, for fashion's word is apt, and prayer comes round again, that I may seem, though I die old, a foolish, passionate man. Supernatural Songs 1. Reeb at the tomb of Baal and Ayin. Because you have found me in the pitch dark night with open book, you ask me what I do. Mark and digest my tale, carry it afar to those that never saw this tonsured head, nor heard this voice that 90 years have cracked. Of Baal and Ayin you need not speak, or know their tale. All know what leaf and twig, what juncture of the apple and the yew surmount their bones, but speak what none have heard. The miracle that gave them such a death, transfigured to pure substance what had once been bone and sinew. When such bodies join, there is no touching here, nor touching there, nor straining joy, but whole is joined to whole. For the intercourse of angels is a light, wherefore its moment both seem lost, consumed. What did he say last year at Pitsy's? We love it when you dance for us, having reached catharsis on my energy alone. And then he changed his mind. Oh. Here in the pitch-dark atmosphere above, the trembling of the apple and the yew, here on the anniversary of their death, the anniversary of their first embrace, those lovers, purified by tragedy, hurry into each other's arms. These eyes, by water, herb, and solitary prayer, made aquiline, are open to that light. Though somewhat broken by the leaves, that light lies in a circle on the grass. Therein I turn the pages of my holy book. For there all the barrel hoops are knit, there all the serpent tails are bit, there all the gyres converge in one. There all the planets drop in the sun. Reeb considers Christian love insufficient. No offence to Christians. Why should I seek for love or study it? It is of God and passes human wit. I study hatred with great diligence, for that's a passion in my own control, a sort of besom that can clear the soul of everything that is not mind or sense. Why do I hate man, woman, or event? That is a light my jealous soul has sent. From terror and deception freed it can discover impurities, can show at last how soul may walk when all such things are past. How soul could walk before such things began. Reset the timelines, motherfuckers, for my beautiful life. Running out of time. Do you understand? Then my delivered soul herself shall learn a darker knowledge and in hatred turn from every thought of God mankind has had. Thought is a garment, and the soul's a bride that cannot in that trash and tinsel hide. Hatred of God may bring the soul to God, although I wouldn't recommend that. Says she, deify, I defy. Don't fuck with the Tanya, but it's not wise to fuck with God. He anoints who he pleases, and the anointing isn't always kind or comfortable or sweet or even safe, said he who lied and offered me safety. Safety comes from within, boy chick. At stroke of midnight, soul cannot endure a bodily or mental furniture. What can she take until her master give? Where can she look until he, capital H-E, make the show? What can she know until he bid her know? How can she live till in her blood he live? To the Holy One, who continuously vomited me back to earth 16 times. For this season, this treasonous season, I wonder why. 8. Whence had they come? Eternity is passion, girl or boy, cry at the onset of their sexual joy, forever and forever, then awake, ignorant what dramatis personae spake. A passion-driven, exultant man sings out sentences that he has never thought. The flagellant lashes those submissive loins, ignorant what that dramatist enjoins. What master made the lash? Whence Had they come, the hand and lash that beat down frigid Rome? What sacred drama through her body heaved when world-transforming Charlemagne was conceived? Good point. 9. The 4 ages of man, he with body waged a fight, but body won, it walks upright. Then he struggled with the heart, innocence and peace depart. Then he struggled with the mind, his proud heart he left behind. Now his wars on God begin. At stroke of midnight, God shall win. What did I tell you? 12. You have to laugh. It's a bit comical, darlings. Don't take it all so seriously. I'm really not all that upset. Better to have loved than lost, and not have seeded my soul and sold myself out to be treated like a whore and debased and thrown aside. It's happened to me too many times, and I always deserved, from the age of 6, better, but let the boy watch. You understand. I don't think so, watching as he may. It's all he can do now, watch forever and a day. Here's looking at you, kid. Babies. I don't know why I'm so impassioned this afternoon. I started this morning. Must be that I had a better night of breathing. Oh, that must crawl under your skin like worms. But Tanya, breathing and still seething in her own intellect and emotions and passions and magic. But I love you. You can bank on that when you die. Mud in your eye. 12. Ah, stimulating. Meru. I can hear laughter in the Sephiroth. My friends, my true loves, laugh with me. They get it. They get it. You who don't get it were never worthy of me. Just remember that. Poor lads. Oh, smallest violin, I will play you a dirge, a klezmer dirge, as we dance to our own penultimate immolation. Comes to us all one day. It's certain. 12. Meru. Civilization is hooped together, brought under a rule, under the semblance of peace, for a football ticket and a donut. Motherfuckers. By manifold illusion. This man was seeing far into the future when he wrote these poems. far into the future. He knew what was to come. Blessed be, his work is done. But man's life is thought, and he, despite his terror, cannot cease ravening through century after century, ravening, raging and uprooting, that he may come into the desolation of reality. Getting hungry. Egypt and Greece, goodbye, and goodbye Rome, and goodbye modern contemporary Western civilization too, since you poisoned us all, you dumb motherfuckers. Hermits upon Mount Meru or Everest, caverned in night under the drifted snow, or where that snow and winter's dreadful blast beat down upon their naked bodies. No, that day brings round the night, that before dawn his glory and his monuments are gone. By the gods, that man was prescient. Right, we're at the last lot of poems, my darlings. I think we will be able to complete them before the video ends in 45 minutes. Let's hope so. Be nice to reach completion today. If you have found your catharsis yet, Mama's almost. From Last Poems, The Gyres. The gyres, old rocky face, look forth. Things thought too long can be no longer thought. For beauty dies of beauty, worth of worth, and ancient lineaments are blotted out. Irrational streams of blood staining earth. Empedocles has thrown all things about. Hector is dead, and there's a light in Troy. We that look on, but laugh in tragic joy. What matter though numb nightmare ride on top, and blood and mire the sensitive body stain? What matter? Heave no sigh, let no tear drop. A greater, a more gracious time has gone for painted forms or boxes of make-up in ancient tombs I sighed. But not again. What matter? Out of cavern comes a voice, and all it knows is that one word: rejoice. Conduct and work grow coarse, and coarse the soul. What matter? Those that rocky face holds dear, lovers of horses and of women, shall, from marble of a broken sepulchre, or dark betwixt the polecat and the owl, or any rich, dark, nothing disinter the workman, noble and saint, and all things run on that unfashionable gyre again. The Wheel of Fortune, people. It's a hurdy-gurdy ride through eternity. Catch you next time, big boy. Maybe we'll fuck next life. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just nod and keep walking. Lapis lazuli. I have heard that hysterical women say I know, I did say that out loud. I couldn't help myself. You understand. Humour, not a tumour. I have heard that hysterical women say they are sick of the palette and fiddle bow of poets that are always gay, for everybody knows, or else should know, that if nothing drastic is done, aeroplane and zeppelin will come out. Pitch like King Billy bomb balls in until the town lie beaten flat. All perform their tragic play. There struts Hamlet, there is Lear, that's Ophelia, that Cordelia. Yet they, should the last scene be there, the great stage curtain about to drop, if worthy their prominent part in the play, do not break up their lines to weep. They know that Hamlet and Lear are gay, meaning cheerful. I wouldn't think Hamlet was all that cheerful, or Lear for that matter. Oh well, never mind. Gaiety transfiguring all that dread. All men have aimed at, found and lost. A blackout, heaven blazing into the head, tragedy wrought to its uttermost. Though Hamlet rambles and Lear rages, and all the drop scenes drop at once upon 100,000 stages, it cannot grow by an inch or an ounce. What did my former friend Lucy used to say to me? All men are either actors or liars. She's right, you know. Actors or liars, sometimes both at the same time. But what fun they had at my expense. Am I right? Wither and jigger and jizzle yourselves out. On their own feet they came, or on shipboard, camel back, horseback, ass-back, mule-back, old civilizations, put to the sword. Then they and their wisdom went to wrack. No handiwork of Callimachus, who handled marble as if it were bronze, made draperies that seemed to rise when sea wind swept the corner stands. His long lamp chimney, shaped like the stem of a slender palm, stood but a day. All things fall and are built again, and those that build them again are gay. Two Chinamen behind them, a third, are carved in lapis lazuli, one of my favourite stones actually. Over them flies a long-legged bird, a symbol of longevity. That would be a heron, people of Earth. The third, doubtless a serving man, carries, or perhaps an egret, carries a musical instrument. Every discoloration of the stone, every accidental crack or dent seems a watercourse or an avalanche or lofty slope where it still snows, though doubtless plum or cherry branch sweetens the little halfway house those Chinamen climb towards, and I delight to imagine them seated there on the mountain and the sky, on all the tragic scene they stare. One asks for mournful melodies, accomplished fingers begin to play. Are you playing for me yet, big boy? Happy fucking birthday. Their eyes, mid many wrinkles, their eyes, their ancient, glittering eyes, are gay. An acre of grass. Picture and book remain an acre of green grass for air and exercise. Now strength of body goes. Midnight, an old house where nothing stirs but a mouse. My temptation is quiet. Here at life's end, neither loose imagination nor the mill of the mind, consuming its rag and bone, can make the truth known. Grant me an old man's frenzy, myself must I remake, till I am Timon and Lear, or that William Blake, who bet against the wall, till truth obeyed his call. A mind Michelangelo knew, that can pierce the clouds, or, inspired by frenzy, shake the dead in their shrouds, forgotten else by mankind, an old man's eagle mind. What then his chosen comrades thought at school, he must grow a famous man. He thought the same and lived by rule, all his 20s crammed with toil. What then, sang Plato's ghost? What then? Everything he wrote was read. After certain years he won sufficient money for his need. Friends that have been friends indeed. What then, sang Plato's ghost? What then? All his happier dreams came true. A small old house, wife, daughter, son, grounds where plum and cabbage grew, poets and wits about him drew. What then, sang Plato's ghost? What then? The work is done, grown old, he thought, according to my boyish plan. Let the fools rage, I swerved in naught, something to perfection brought, but louder sang that ghost. What then? Beautiful lofty things, O'Leary's noble head, my father upon the Abbey stage, before him a raging crowd, this land of saints, and then as the applause died out, of plaster saints, his beautiful mischievous head thrown back. Standish O'Grady, supporting himself between the tables, speaking to a drunken audience, high nonsensical words. Augusta Gregory seated at a great ormolu, I think it's a kind of marble, table, her 80th winter approaching. Yesterday he threatened my life. Excuse me. I told him that nightly from 6 to 7 I sat at this table, the blinds drawn up, moored gun at health station, waiting a train, Pallas Athene in that straight back and arrogant head. Oh, he hated that. He hated that. Tried to destroy it. Sad little boy. All the Olympians, a thing never known again. The curse of Cromwell. You ask what I have found, and far and wide I go, nothing but Cromwell's house and Cromwell's. murderous crew. The lovers and the dancers are beaten into the clay. And the tall men and the swordsmen and the horsemen, where are they? And there is an old beggar wandering in his pride. His fathers served their fathers before Christ was crucified. Oh, what of that? Oh, what of that? What is there left to say? All neighbourly content and easy talk are gone, but there's no good complaining, for money's rant is on. He that's mounting up must on his neighbour mount, and we and all the muses are things of no account. They have schooling of their own, but I pass their schooling by. What can they know that we know, that know the time to die? Oh, what of that? Oh, what of that? What is there left to say? But there's another knowledge that my heart destroys, as the fox in the old fable destroyed the Spartan boys. Because it proves that things both can and cannot be, that the swordsmen and the ladies can still keep company, can pay the poet for a verse and hear the fiddle's sound, that I'm still their servant, though all are underground. Oh, what of that? Oh, what of that? What is there left to say? I came on a great house in the middle of the night, its open lighted doorway and its windows all alight, and all my friends were there and made me welcome too. But I woke in an old ruin that the winds howled through, and when I pay attention I must out and walk among the dogs and horses that understand my talk. Oh, what of that? Oh, what of that? What is there left to say? Gather round me, Parnellites. Gather round me, Parnellites, and praise our chosen man. Stand upright on your legs a while. Stand upright while you can. For soon we lie where he is laid, and he is underground. Come fill up all those glasses, and pass the bottle round. And here's a cogent reason, and I have many more. He fought the might of England, and saved the Irish poor. Whatever good a farmer's got, he brought it all to pass. And here's another reason that Parnell loved a lass. And here's a final reason, he was of such a kind. Every man that sings a song keeps Parnell in his mind, for Parnell was a proud man, no prouder trod the ground, and a proud man's a lovely man. So pass the bottle round. The bishops and the party that tragic story made, a husband that had sold his wife and after that betrayed. But stories that live longest are sung above the glass. And Parnell loved his country, and Parnell loved his lass. The wild old wicked man. Because I am mad about women, I am mad about the hills, said that wild old wicked man who travels where God wills. Not to die on the straw at home, those hands to close these eyes. That is all I ask, my dear, from the old man in the skies. Daybreak and a candle end. Kind are all your words, my dear, do not the rest withhold. Who can know the year, my dear, when an old man's blood grows cold? I have what no young man can have, because he loves too much. Words I have that can pierce the heart, but what can he do but touch? Daybreak and a candle end. Then said she to that wild old man, his stout stick under his hand, love to give or to withhold is not at my command. I gave it all to an older man, that old man in the skies. Hands that are busy with his beads can never close those eyes. Daybreak and a candle end. Go your ways, oh, go your ways. I choose another mark. Girls down on the seashore who understand the dark. Bawdy talk for the fishermen, a dance for the fisher lads. When dark hangs upon the water, they turn down their beds. Daybreak and a candle end. A young man in the dark am I, but a wild old man in the light. That can make a cat laugh, or can touch by mother wit things hid in their marrow bones, from time long passed away, hid from all those warty lads that by their bodies lay. Daybreak and a candle end. All men live in suffering, I know, as few can know, whether they take the upper road or stay content on the low. Rower bent in his rowboat, or weaver bent at his loom, horseman erect upon horseback, or child hid in the womb. Daybreak and candle end. That some stream of lightning from the old man in the skies can burn out that suffering no right taught man denies. But a coarse old man am I choose the second best. I forget it all a while upon a woman's breast. Daybreak and a candle end. The great day. Hurrah for revolution and more cannon shot. A beggar up on horseback lashes a beggar on foot. Hurrah for revolution and cannon come again. The beggars have changed places, but the lash goes on. The spur. You think it horrible that lust and rage should dance attention upon my old age. They were not such a plague when I was young. What else have I to spur me into song? The Pilgrim. I fasted for some 40 days on bread and buttermilk, for passing round the bottle with girls in rags or silk, in country shawl or Paris cloak, had put my wits astray. And what's the good of women, for all that they can say, is fol de rol de rolly o. Round Low Derg's holy island I went upon the stones, I prayed at all the stations upon my marrow bones. I prayed, and there I found an old man, and though I prayed all day, and that old man beside me, nothing would he say, but fol de rol de rolly o. All know that all the dead in the world about that place are stuck, and that should mother seek her son, she'd have but little luck, because the fires of purgatory have ate their shapes away. I swear to God I questioned them, and all they had to say was fol de rol de rolly o. A great black ragged bird appeared when I was in the boat, some 20 feet from tip to tip had it stretched rightly out. With flopping and with flapping it made a great display, but I never stopped to question what could the boatman say but fol de rol de rolly o. Now I am in the public house and lean upon the wall, so come in rags or come in silk, in cloak or country shawl, and come with learned lovers or with what men you may, for I can put the whole lot down, and all I have to say is fol de rol de rolly o. The Municipal Gallery revisited. Let me just see, I'm running out of time, people are there. Don't think we'll make it. The Municipal Gallery revisited. Verse 1. Around me the images of 30 years, an ambush, pilgrims at the waterside, casement upon trial, half hidden by the bars, guarded, Griffith staring in hysterical pride, Kevin O'Higgins' countenance that wears a gentle questioning look that cannot hide, a soul incapable of remorse or rest, a revolutionary soldier kneeling to be blessed. 2. An abbot or archbishop with an upraised hand blessing the tricolour. This is not, I say, the dead island of my youth, but an island the poets have imagined, terrible and gay. Before a woman's portrait, suddenly I stand, beautiful and gentle in her Venetian way. I met her all but 50 years ago for 20 minutes in some studio. 3. Heart smitten with emotion, I sink down, my heart recovering with covered eyes. Wherever I had looked upon my permanent or impermanent images. Augusta Gregory's son, her sister's son, Hugh Lane, on lie begetter of all these, Hazel Lavery, living and dying, that tale as though some ballad singer had sung it all. 4. Mancini's portrait of Augusta Gregory, greatest since Rembrandt, according to John Synge. A great ebullient portrait, certainly. But where is the brush that could show anything of all that pride and that humility? And I am in despair that time may bring approved patterns of women or of men, but not that self-same excellence again. 5. My medieval knees lack health until they bend, but in that woman in that household where honour had lived so long, all lacking found. Childless, I thought, my children may find here deep-rooted things, but never foresaw its end. And now that end has come, I have not wept, nor fox can foul the lair. The badger swept. 6. An image out of Spenser and the common tongue. John Synge, I and Augusta Gregory thought all that we did, all that we said or sang, must come from contact with the soil. From that contact everything, Antaeus-like, grew strong. We three alone in modern times had brought everything down to that soul test again. Dream of the noble and the beggar man. 7. And here's John Synge himself, that rooted man, forgetting human words, a grave, deep face. You that would judge me, do not judge alone. This book or that, come to this hallowed place, where my friends' portraits hang and look thereon, Ireland's history and their lineaments trace. Think where man's glory most begins and ends, and say my glory was I had such friends. Right, I think, because I'm not going to make it to the end and it's going to be a very short video otherwise, I'll stop here and I'll come back just to finish the last of this book, the last of the last poems, the last of the last of the last. And she who rises in her own power and joy, heartfulness and bliss and peace and delight and occasional smite, you understand, when I deem it necessary. Loves. I'll be back shortly. Love to you all. Goddess bless.